All right. Hello, everyone. My computer just glitched, so I think I'm live. Um, Hello, welcome. I'm doing a little craft and chat this afternoon. Um, I am working on Suncatchers, and I'm doing a custom one that is some bees, some birds, and some beads. Bees, birds, beads. Um, so I am working on that for a customer. Should be a pretty good one. I've pre-wired so I use embroidery hoops, and I just wired this before getting on because I didn't want you guys to see the struggle. Because wiring the hoops is honestly the hardest part. Um, I dislike it a lot and would love if embroidery hoops came pre wired with chicken wire because that would make my life so much easier. But alas, they don't. So I have been wiring embroidery hoops, and then I take my beads, which I try to use glass beads and charms, glass beads and enamel charms. And then I put it all together and make a sun catcher. And I should be able to finish this one during the live so I can show you what one looks like at the end. But this one has like dark bluish green beads, a bumblebee, an owl, a little bird, and a hummingbird are the charms that she chose. It's for an older client. She really likes birds. So these are the charms that she chose for it. Um, yeah, so that's what we're doing today. And I thought I'd share some. I have all my shit on the floor over here. I'm working at a desk. I don't have a whole lot of space. I don't know if I can show you. This is kind of what I'm working with. I do everything just like right here um, while I work. So maybe I'll leave it like this so you can see what I'm actually working on. But you're up here on this little stand, and then I have an embroidery hoop stand right here. I lay everything out beforehand, and then I start to build. So that's what we're doing. Um, yeah, we'll leave it like this, I guess, and we'll try not to shake the camera too much. But no guarantees. Um, Enjoy the shirt. And let's get to beading. So, or to crafting. I saw a video on Facebook of people making sun catchers out of chicken wire and embroidery hoops, and was like, ooh, I want to try that. And so I did, and I took a couple of them to a farmer's market, and they did really well. People loved them. And I started getting custom orders for them at the farmers markets. And from there, I started making more and more and more and more. And at one farmer's market, I was sold out within the first 45 minutes. So people are just really enjoying these. And as much as I dislike the chicken wire, I do also enjoy making them. So, that's what kind of got me into this, was a video. And they're not super difficult to make. I say that as I struggle. Sometimes they're not difficult to make. Sometimes they are. But it's kind of calming and therapeutic in a way. You guys really get to see the struggle. What's really embarrassing is when I try to do a custom order for someone that's standing in front of me and they want like a different charm on their Suncatcher, and so I'll switch it out for them, and then they get to watch me struggle. And I always struggle more when someone's watching, because I feel, well, like someone's watching. Here we go. We got our first one. And I just got to remember the pattern I picked. But so I've been crafting a lot. I should be editing. I did book update. I printed my manuscript for Echoes of Us, which is my queer post-apocalyptic horror story. So I printed that and then did edits manually and went through the whole manuscript. Took me, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks to do it. I was kind of lazy about it. Might have taken me longer than that, honestly. But now I need to make all those edits on the digital manuscript that I'm going to turn into my publisher in August. I don't have a deadline or anything. Like, the deadline is December, so I've got time, but I've kind of set the deadline for myself to get it done by August, by the end of August, just because I want to have it done and in my publisher's hands. So I need to get going on that. But right now, Suncatchers have taken up a lot of my time and will continue to take up a lot of my time because I have a lot of events coming up with the Suncatchers and the business, which I'll tell you about here in a minute or two. Here's our little bee. That's our little bee charm that we're working with. I have, let's see, a 2-day market August 9th and 10th in Bassett, which is a little town about, I don't know, 20 minutes from here maybe. But there's a rodeo going on, so I need to make a lot of, or I don't need to, but I would like to make a lot of Suncatchers that are like cowboy and cowgirl themed, rodeo themed. So like cowboy hats, cacti, boots, horses, those types of charms. So I need to get to work on those, but I wanted to get my custom orders done first. So that people weren't waiting on me for their custom orders, because, you know, I tell them, I give them an up when they order. I tell them right away, like, I've got 5 custom orders ahead of you. So it might be 2 to 3 weeks before I get to your order, and then it will take me like a day or 2 to do it. So I try to be as transparent as possible when it comes to how long it will take, because it will take me a while, because I do each of these by hand, and especially bigger ones can take hours. These little ones I can usually do in like 30 minutes, depending on the design and what I got going on. But yeah, this is a pretty standard one. So it'll probably take me 30 minutes. But I've got the rodeo coming up on August 9th and 10th. So I got to make a bunch for that. And then I've got the launch for my business August 15th. And I need some for that. And then I have the Brown County Fair at the end of August. So I need some for that. So August is going to be wildly busy. And I'm going to need a lot of Suncatchers. So I'm trying to make as many as I can now before that date. But I have a feeling no matter what I do, I am going to be short. I'm not going to have enough. So, yeah. We'll see how it goes. I'm definitely nervous. I'm not going to be able to make enough product, and then I'm going to have to, like, I don't know, I guess drop out of markets if I can't make enough. But I really, really don't want to do that, because it's great, you know, and people are buying, like, so yeah, I just need to buckle down and make a lot of Suncatchers while also working and doing everything else. Eek. It's a lot. 'Tis a lot, but I will make it happen. Sometimes, there we go, things don't want to go where they're supposed to. I have a hard time sometimes because the jump rings will get stretched out, or like someone will be like, will handle the Suncatchers like a little roughly, and then things will start to pull apart and beads will fall off and stuff, and like I don't know how to make that not happen, because I tighten them as best I can. But if you're going to sit there and like pull on the beads and, you know, mess around with it, you know, it's just going to fall off. That's how it works. Shit's going to fall off, man. I do my best. But if you're pulling on stuff and making rings come undone and all that, I can only do so much. But besides writing, which I have not been doing a lot of because I've been editing. So besides editing and making Suncatchers, I have been working at my part-time job, which is going well. And also starting a business. So I am starting a business called Handmade in the Sandhills, which if you haven't looked at any of my other videos, I do talk about it on there. But it is a small business of makers located in the Sandhills of Nebraska. And right now I have 2 makers. Paul, who does woodworking, whose work is fantastic, and Sarah, who makes jewelry, like really cool jewelry. Like she does permanent jewelry, earrings, bracelets, wristlets, like all kinds of stuff. It's really neat, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Like kind of rustic minimalism, maybe is how I would classify it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I've got those 2 signed on to be vendors with me. And to be a vendor, I just ask that you be a handmade crafts person and that you're located in Sandhills of Nebraska, but I'm also considering folks from other rural parts of Nebraska. And I have everyone fill out a form, a Google Doc form, just so I can learn a little bit more about them and about their business. And after they fill that out, we do like a Zoom meet just to chat about their products a little bit more. And just so we can like meet, like if we can't meet in person, we'll do a Zoom meeting. Ideally, we could meet in person, but that doesn't always happen. And then we do all the fun stuff like the contracts and agreements and figuring out inventory and what's going to go in the shop and how many items and things like that. And once that's all signed and dealt with, then I take the product photos. I get the products up on the website, which is sandhillmakers.com. And then when we get orders, I ship them. So that's how it's working right now. And the goal is to have a brick and mortar. That's just like a little boutique of handmade goods in Ainsworth one day, maybe in a year's time in downtown Ainsworth, because that would be really cool. This angle is unforgiving. This is the next charm. I've done 2 other charms. I did an owl and a little bird, which you'll see, but now I have a little hummingbird. There it is. I think you can kind of see it. Yeah, little hummingbird charm for this last row. I'm almost done with this one. So yeah, like I said, it takes about 30 minutes. But oh, that means I'm gonna have to wire another one. Oh no. That's where the real struggle comes in. I don't want you guys to see that. I'd just do another small one. They're a little easier to wire. Not as challenging. But what was I talking about? Oh, Sandhills. So we're having a launch party. Y'all will be the first to hear it. August 15th in Ainsworth, Nebraska. On Main Street. We're having a little launch party. We're having vendors, food, some, like water and lemonade and coffee, some snacks, and then each of my vendors will be there. And so you can shop while you enjoy the snacks and meet the makers. I'll have each of them introduce themselves, and I'll introduce them, introduce myself. And then we will have door prizes, giveaways. We're also doing a virtual launch, which will be on August 1st. And there's going to be some giveaways for that as well. So that'll be good. But I don't know. I'm excited for it. There's a lot of planning that needs to be done in order for the party to start or get started, I guess. So, got a lot to do. A lot. And it's kind of stressful. But I know it's fun at the same time. I do wonder sometimes if I'm like built to own a company or run a company. Like, I'm tired all the time. And I'm like, oh, if I have a company and I'm running it, that means I got to show up every day. I got to be on every day. And that's a lot to deal with. As a small business owner, and you also have to like, I don't know. It's just kind of scary, I think, to start a business, but I'm going for it. I am going for it. I'm putting on the last beads. Then I'll show you the final product. So that doesn't take too long at all. Kept chipping my beads. So this order is for Jan, who came to one of my markets. She really liked the Suncatchers, but she wanted a very specific one. So I am making her a custom one. Custom one for Jan, and I made a custom one for her friend, who actually just ordered another custom one. So I've got to add that to my list as well. But this is our last bead for this one. It's a cute little medium-sized hexagon. There we go. It's finished. You can see how it came out. And there are our charms and our beads. You kind of see everything. Nice. And I got to take pictures of it because I always take pictures and send the pictures to the client so they can see the final product. This one looks really good in the sun. Very cute. All right, that one's done. Man, maybe I'll just do a 30-minute stream since I'm done already. Just a quick little chat, craft and chat. I think that's going to be it. Made a real quick little Suncatcher. And I'm going to make more. I'm not done. I got to keep going tonight. But yeah, this was just a quick catch up. I haven't posted in a while, I don't think. So I wanted to do something and let you guys know what I've been up to. So hope you enjoyed the craft and chat. And maybe I'll do another one in the future. Stay tuned. Okay. Bye.